In this lecture on single-phase transformers, we will be covering some basic theory, derive the EMF equation of a transformer, know the phasor diagrams under no load and loaded conditions, draw the equivalent circuit, and then derive an expression for the voltage regulation of a transformer. Basic parts of a transformer. The core is made of several laminations. This is the laminated core. The primary winding of T1 turns is wound on the vertical limb of the transformer. The secondary winding of T2 turns is wound on the other vertical limb. The supply is connected to the primary winding. The load is connected to the secondary winding. We will understand the working principle of a transformer. The sinusoidal voltage is connected to the primary. The current I flows into the primary winding. This current is a sinusoidal current given by I is equal to Im sin omega t. This current will produce a flux in the core in the direction shown. It will flow throughout the core and mutually link the secondary winding also. The flux produced is of the equation phi is equal to phi m sin omega t. The current and flux both will be in phase. We can see it in the phasor diagram. The current taken as the reference, flux also is in the same phase. As this flux is linking both the coils, EM of E1 will be induced in the primary, E2 will be induced in the secondary. As the EMF is opposing the supply voltage V, we can write E is equal to minus d phi by dt, which is the EMF in one turn. Let us derive the EMF equation of a transformer. The EMF in one turn is given by minus d phi by dt. For phi, phi m sin omega t is substituted. Differentiating sin omega t, we get cos omega t. Now, writing minus cos omega t as sin omega t minus 90 degrees, and then for omega 2 pi f is written. Em is written for 2 pi f into phi m. Now look into the phasor diagram. The flux phi m sin omega t is drawn at 0 degrees. The EMF being Em sin omega t minus 90 degrees, it is drawn at minus 90 degrees. Em is written for 2 pi f into phi m, but we know the ERMS or E is Em by root 2. Calculating this, the EMF will come as 4.44 f phi m in one turn. We know the EMF in one turn as 4.44 f phi m. The primary and secondary have T1 and T2 turns. In T1 turns of primary, the EMF E1 will be 4.44 f phi m T1. In T2 turns of secondary, E2 is equal to 4.44 f phi m T2. Writing this as a ratio, E2 by E1 will be equal to T2 by T1. In an ideal transformer, V1 is equal to E1 and E2 is equal to V2. We can write now as V2 by V1 is equal to E2 by E1, which will be equal to T2 by T1. The input power in volt amperes will be equal to V1 into I1. On the secondary side, the output power in volt amperes is equal to V2 into I2. In an ideal transformer, the input volt amperes is equal to output volt amperes. Now writing this as V2 by V1 is equal to I1 by I2. Now the final ratio equation is written like this. K is called the transformation ratio of the transformer. V2 by V1, E2 by E1, T2 by T1 all are equal to K. But the currents I1 by I2 will be equal to K. Based on the transformation of voltage levels, transformers are classified as step-down transformers and step-up transformers. When the secondary number of turns are less, it is step-down transformer. When the secondary number of turns are more than the primary, it is a step-up transformer. We will understand the transformer on no load condition. That means the secondary winding is on open circuit. The supply is given to the primary winding. The input current is the no load current I0. The secondary current is 0. The input current I0 will produce flux in the core. This flux will pass throughout the core and link the secondary winding also. E1 is induced in the primary, E2 is induced in the secondary. The no load current is of two components, IC plus IM. Let us look into the no load phasor diagram. Take the flux as the reference. We know the EMFs will be lagging by 90 degrees. The input voltage V1 will oppose E1. The no load current I0 is drawn as a phasor. If you resolve this I0 into two components, the horizontal component is Im, the vertical component is Ic. I0 is the no load current, Ic is the core loss component, Im magnetizing component. Phi naught is the angle by which I0 lags the supply voltage. IC is I0 cos phi naught, Im I0 sin phi naught. Let us draw the equivalent circuit under no load condition. V1 is the supply voltage. The input current is I1. This I1 input current is equal to I0 under no load condition. This I0 will be shown flowing through a magnetizing branch. This I0 has got two components, IC and Im. We will draw the phasor diagram under loaded condition. The supply is given to the primary. The input current is the no load current I0 because secondary is not connected to the load. This I0 will produce flux in the direction shown and the flux passes throughout the core. E1 and E2 are the EMFs in the primary and secondary. Let us start drawing the phasor diagram. Flux is taken as the reference. We know the EMFs lag by 90 degrees. The input voltage V1 will oppose the E1. I0 is the no load current, lags behind V1 by an angle of phi naught. Now the load is connected. The load current will flow from the secondary, which is I2. This I2 will be lagging the EMF E2 by an angle of phi 2. The secondary current I2 will produce an additional flux shown now vertically upwards. That means this flux will flow throughout the core opposing the primary flux. In order to maintain the flux in the core constant, the primary winding should draw from the supply an additional current I2 dash. This I2 dash is in opposite direction to I2. This is drawn in the phasor diagram opposite to I2. The angle is phi 2. The additional primary MMF in ampere turns should be equal to the secondary MMF ampere turns in order to maintain the flux in the core constant. So the additional current I2 dash into primary number of turns should be equal to the secondary current into secondary number of turns. From this, I2 dash will be equal to I2 into T2 by T1. Now the input current I1 is equal to I0 plus I2 dash. In the phasor diagram, we complete the parallelogram for the addition of I0 and I2 dash and get I1 phasor. I1 can be calculated from the parallelogram as a root of I0 square plus I2 dash square plus 2 into I0 into I2 dash into cos of the angle phi 0 minus phi 2. Let us draw the complete phasor diagram of a transformer. R1, X1 are the parameters of the primary winding. R2, X2 are the resistance and reactance parameters of the secondary winding. V1 is the supply voltage. I1 is the primary current. Minus E1 is written here as E1 opposes the supply voltage V1. E2 is the secondary EMF, the load current I2, load voltage V2. Now from the primary loop, we can write starting from the supply voltage V1 minus the resistance drop minus the reactance drop I1 X1, you get minus E1 phasor. Or we can start from the minus E1 phasor, add the resistance and reactance drops, you get the supply voltage V1 phasor. Let us draw the phasor diagram by drawing the flux as the reference. We know E1, E2 lags by 90 degrees. Minus E1 phasor is opposite to E1. This is the input current I1. Now for the minus E1 phasor, we will add the resistance drop and then the reactance drop. I1 R1 phasor is added to minus E1. To this we add I1 X1 phasor. So minus E1 added I1 R1 and added to that I1 X1, it is V1. The angle between V1 and I1 is phi 1. The secondary current I2 lags the E2 by an angle phi 2. We will know about the referred parameters in the equivalent circuit. The primary and secondary winding parameters are shown separately. Let us assume the secondary winding to have the same number of turns as the primary. That is, the secondary winding is referred to the primary side. The primary parameters are written as they are. Coming to the secondary circuit, the EMF is written as E2 dash. E2 dash is the secondary EMF referred to the primary, which is equal to E1. When the EMF is referred to the primary, all the other parameters should also be written as the referred quantities. Here, R2 dash, X2 dash, V2 dash are all the parameters referred to the primary circuit. We will derive the equivalent circuit of a transformer. Secondary is an open circuit, so I2 is equal to 0. The primary current under this condition will be the no load current I0. E1 and E2 are the primary and secondary EMFs. In this figure, The resistance and reactance of the primary winding are shown externally. Likewise, R2, X2 are shown externally, then connected to the load. The load current I2 flows. The input current now is the no load current plus I2 dash. I2 dash is the additional current which is required to maintain the flux constant in the core. Now in this, the input current is shown flowing into the magnetizing branch and into the primary winding as I0 plus I2 dash. The secondary EMF is written as E2 dash, which is equal to E1. It is referred to the primary side. Likewise, all the other parameters, resistance, reactance, and current, load voltage, all referred to the primary side. When the secondary EMF is referred to the primary side and made equal to E1, both windings are at a potential of E1. When both are at E1, the terminals can be connected. Now removing the windings, we can redraw the figure like this. This is the equivalent circuit of a transformer. Now moving the magnetizing branch to the supply terminals, we call this as an approximate equivalent circuit. This is the circuit model or the equivalent circuit of a transformer on the loaded condition when load is connected. Let's now look into the equivalent circuit on the open circuit condition. Open the load, I2 will be 0. So the input current I1 will only be equal to I0. This is the equivalent circuit on open circuit. So RC can be calculated as V0 by IC. XM can be obtained by putting V0 by IM. Let us look into the circuit model of the transformer on short circuit conditions. The secondary terminals are short circuited. Neglecting the magnetizing branch current I0, the equivalent circuit now becomes like this on short circuit conditions. VSC by ISC, you get the impedance under short circuit conditions. The reactance under short circuit conditions can be obtained as root of ZSC square minus RSC square. We will derive an expression for the voltage regulation of a transformer. You are seeing the equivalent circuit with secondary on open circuit and the no load current I0 neglected. In the phasor diagram, V2 dash is written equal to V1 because when secondary is open circuited, the current would be 0. So there is no drop in the resistance and reactance. So V2 dash will be equal to V1. The voltage regulation is defined as the variation of the secondary voltage V2 from no load to full load expressed as a percentage of no load voltage, the primary voltage being kept constant. The per unit voltage regulation can be obtained as V1 minus V2 dash by V1. Now in the phasor diagram, let us draw the phasor of I1 R equivalent in the direction of I1. I1 X equivalent will be perpendicular to I1. The addition of these two vectors will be equal to I1 Z equivalent. The angle between I1 Z equivalent and to I1 is phi E. This angle is phi E minus phi 2. This I1 Z equivalent will now be added to V2 dash. This angle is phi E minus phi 2. Draw a horizontal from V1 and call it as V1A. V1A is neglected. Now V1 minus V2 dash will become I1ZE cos phi E minus phi 2. Expanding this, you get cos phi E cos phi 2 plus sin phi E sin phi 2. Now writing ZE cos phi E as RE, you get I1 RE cos phi 2, and ZE sin phi E is written as XE. Per unit voltage regulation being V1 minus V2 dash by V1, we substitute from above for V1 minus V2 dash. The per unit voltage regulation becomes I1 into RE cos phi 2 plus XE sin phi 2 by V1. In this lecture, we have covered the basic theory of a single phase transformer, derived the EMF equation. We have understood the phasor diagrams under no load and loaded condition. We looked into the equivalent circuits, then derived an expression for the voltage regulation.